If you struggle with foundation, especially as a mature woman, I'm going to be sharing some tips today that I think are going to be very helpful, especially if you maybe got the wrong match for your foundation and it's not really matching up to your skin, how to blend it. We're going to get into all of it. Let's get into the video. The first thing we're going to talk about is if you have light foundation. Maybe you ordered one that's too light, or it just isn't working for you, or maybe it was working for you during one season and you went into the next season, you're like, oh, it's too light for me. Give this a try. So I ordered this a while ago. This is from Sisley, and I love this foundation, but I ordered the lightest shade. And I am a pretty fair girl, but honey, this was pretty light for me. To show you what to do to warm it up. First thing I'm going to do actually is I'm going to use bronzer. So I'm going to go in with my Saie bronzer. This is in the color Fair, I believe. No, light bronze, okay? This is light bronze. So this is not the lightest shade. The lightest shade I don't think would work for this. It could, but it's pretty light. So I'm just going to take my Saie brush and I'm going to put it, I know it's going to seem crazy, but just trust the process. All I can tell you is trust the process. Trust the process. Okay? Don't freak out, because this stuff is pretty fair. Okay. And I could always add more on top of it, but here we go. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and take my foundation. I'm going to put it on the back of my hand. It's good to do this. It's good to put the foundation on the back of your hand. And this is why. When you are just putting on your face, which I used to do, the foundation can dry a little bit quicker sometimes. And it's not going to spread as nicely. You're going to have to work a little bit harder at it, okay? And especially if you're using a sponge, it just works better. So I'm going to put it on my sponge so I can load it up. Now I can put this on, and it's going to spread it better than when I dab it. I used to do the dab thing. I just don't do that anymore. So I should have done one side first before I did this. But see how it's not looking. You know what I should do? I'm just going to put this on just going to put a little dot right here so we know where we started, okay? So we know where we started and we see where this is, okay? So you can see how light that is. And look at, because I'm mixing my bronzer with it, it's changing the color. But look at how nice that looks, and look how light that is. Like, that looks much better. And I feel like it blends in good. It doesn't look like I'm really white. And remember, I'm still going to put on bronzer and do all that, but I just wanted you to see that, like, what a difference, right? So if you have a foundation that's too light, you want to do this first. You want to put some bronzer on. Just put it on your forehead a little bit right there. You can even do it on there, but don't want to go crazy. But just get enough on so once you start blending it, see, you can't even see where the bronzer was, and it all blended out really nicely. Another tip, when you're putting on foundation, especially if you have a lot of lines, you want to use a little bit at a time, okay? And blend, blend, blend. You can always add a little bit more. I feel like the best tool if you have mature skin, in my opinion, is using a sponge. You can use a brush. You're going to see me in another video use a brush. You can. But even if you're using a brush, you want to do little layers, okay? Little thin layers, and you could always add more product. And then, especially like, that's where I have my lines, okay? I don't have them normally, but when I do this, you can see I have lines. So I really need to push that product in there, okay? Need to push it in, and that's why you don't want to wear too heavy of a foundation, because you don't want it settling in your lines. And anywhere where you have large pores, like in the corners of my mouth there, I can get little crinkle lines, so I want to push more by my nose or my scarf, push more the sides of my nose. Anywhere where I have larger pores and stuff, I really push that product in. That's why I don't use a pore filling primer. I don't feel like I need to when you're using a sponge, I'm telling you, it's a game changer. This one is from Stands Out. I will leave a link below if you want to check it out. But I love it. This is the only sponge I've been using. I like how well it cleans for me too as well. Like it, you saw it when I first started. I mean, when I wash it, it gets clean. Okay. And I don't want to hear this baloney about it absorbing all the product. You saw what I'd used on my face and how well it. I'm going to zoom you in so you can see. Okay, so you know I'm not talking out of my butthole. This is another tip that I'm going to give to you, and you may see this in another video, but you're going to see it again because I think it's a really, really good tip. So, under eye area is very, very challenging. And there's a couple of things you can do to apply your under eye concealer. Now, if you have a lot of discoloration, you feel like no matter what concealer you use, you're like, it just doesn't cover it. I still see it. Then you're going to probably have to go in with a color corrector. And you're going to want to apply that to that area first before you apply your concealer. I like to use one that has a peachy base to it. So I feel like it's kind of like having a color corrector, you know, when it has a peachy base like this, as opposed to this Charlotte Tilbury. See the difference between the two? See how one has that peachy, you see the peachiness around the rim there, and you can see here, I'll show you. I'll even swatch a little bit so you can kind of see. I'm almost out of this, so I hate to do this, but I will. Okay, so that is, see the peachy undertone, and we'll get this. Do you see the difference? See how you see that peachy undertone? So that's going to help to color correct, okay? So look for, if this is out of your budget, look for one that has a undertone with that, okay? So one way that you can apply it is you can apply it, especially if you have tear troughs. When you have tear troughs, it kind of makes your eyes look a little bit puffy. My under eyes have gotten really good lately, and I feel like it must be from my Clear Blend. Because I really work on my muscles here, and I use it underneath my eyes, and I feel like I've seen a huge improvement in my under eye area. But anyways, so I just apply it normally, like right here, and then I blend, and then I dab it out, okay? But I'm going to show you another way to do it. If you feel like you have all darkness under here, and you're like, I need to apply it all, like that's just not enough, give this a try, okay? I saw a makeup artist do this, and I really, really respect him. And he's worked on, he's not mature. You know, he doesn't have mature skin or anything, but he has done mature models, and he knows what he's talking about, okay? So I'm just going to take my finger there, and I'm going to lightly pull. And I am putting on more than I normally do, I know. But this is for my peeps that I'm like, I can't do it the other way. Okay, we got it all under there. I'm going to wipe my brush off. I have a little towel. And I'm going to start to blend it. But you see what I'm doing? I'm tugging, I'm lightly tugging that area. And so what he says is when you do that, it's not going into the little creases. I gotta get a mirror so I can see what it looks like now. Okay. Now this is not something that he said, it's just something that I just do. Okay. Take a tissue, a little piece of tissue, and just lightly just tap that off, the excess. Then we are going to set our other under eyes. Really think you need to set it, that we're not baking. I'm taking a velour puff. And I'm just going to take my Charlotte Tilbury, tapping a little bit off in the back of my hand, and then I'm going to go in here. And we're going to set, like I said, I'm hardly putting anything on, okay? But I want you, I'm going to zoom you in so you can see what this looks like. This looks really good. I tested this out, and I was like blown away. I'm like, holy crap, this actually works. So let me show you. See it? I'm even smiling. I don't see any creasing. If you have dry skin, you have to be very careful with powder. But if you're somebody like, I just want a little bit because I want to, maybe you want to use a blurring powder in certain areas of your face. And if you want to do that, there's a couple ways you can do it. Now, a blurring powder is going to be a little bit lighter. Let me do that first. I'll show one, okay? So it's going to be lighter coverage. You're not going to set your makeup with this, but you can use this maybe in areas like, I'll do this one actually first because I feel like the light's reflecting and you can really see. So I'm just going in with the finishing powder. Don't like it, don't recommend it, but I'm going to use it up. And I'm using my Velour Puff. So even if you have some dry skin, if you just wanted to put a little bit in an area like this, it's going to help to smooth that area out. I probably should use a different powder, but I'm going to use this one for that, okay? So you don't have to put it all over is what I'm saying. You can just put it in areas where you just need a little blurring. You can go ahead and use a powder like this just to put. And I would use a Velour Puff like this. I got these on Amazon and I've been using Velour Puffs more and more. Now, if you're talking about setting and you feel like you just want to set it a little bit and you have dry skin, then I would use a nice fluffy brush like this. This one is from Rougher. This is the number 25. I would use a brush like this, like a nice fluffy brush. So you can just lightly dust some setting powder on. And how you want to apply it is you want to put the powder, here, I'll do it. So you want to get it on your brush. You want to just tap it first, real lightly, tap, 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 tap. And once you get it all in your skin, and just put in the areas you need. I'm putting it all over because I'm an oily girl, okay? Once you get it all in, then you can go ahead and lightly buff it, real lightly, buff it in, okay? I am putting foundation on my nose now, but very little, and then I make sure that I set it good. So again, something that I've been doing is using a Velour Puff, taking that same powder that I just shared and just putting it right here. And I just put it right there because that is where I really have issues. I'll dust some of that off. I put extra on my scar, but when I have my sunglasses on especially, I just find that, I'm just dusting it off, just wiping off the excess. I just find that I need to make sure that I'm putting enough powder on here, otherwise it just, my foundation comes off. But you have to go light on your foundation. Don't put too much on there because I've accidentally done it. I've accidentally done it, and it's not a good look. And once it starts coming off, when you're sweating and stuff, you can't fix it. It's almost, especially if it's full coverage, it's just like a hot mess. So you have to be really, really careful with it. So I just don't do a lot right there. One more tip that I wanted to share with you guys is that if you have dry skin and you want to set your face with powder, but even though you're using my tips, you're still like, it still looks like dry on me. Get this. Go get this. This is MAC Fix Plus. I use this all of the time. What it's going to do is going to help to melt all the powders into your skin. It looks amazing. I'm not wearing it on my face today, but normally I do that. I usually don't like to put it on after I have my eye look on. I mean, I guess I could do it. Here, I'll do it. Even though my face doesn't look powdery today, I will do it. Okay? And then let it dry. There's also another technique that I have, and maybe I'll save that for another video. I think I will. I will save it because I could just keep going on and on with stuff. I give you guys so many tips, but this is fabulous. And the other one, and I don't have in front of me, is the Fix Plus Stay Over. I layer it. So I will put this on, and then I will put that on as my last spray when all my makeup is on. You can do it when all your makeup is on, just using this too. But if I really want that longevity, then I will put that on as well. But this just, see how my skin looks? And I know I have oily skin, but trust me, if you have dry skin, I highly recommend this. I highly recommend it. I'm almost out of this. I have another one in my bathroom that I'm almost out of, but I already bought another backup. So I don't want to run out of it. And I didn't really use that much for years, and then I started using it and I really love it. I love how my makeup just looks more skin-like with it. Even though I have powder on, it just melts it into my skin. I just love it. So if you have dry skin, I highly recommend that. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really, really hope that this video was helpful and informative. Again, less is best. So anytime that you're layering your makeup, just, you know, putting your foundation on, putting your powders on, you just have to make sure that you are really giving it a light touch and not going to, you know, applying too much. So if you have any questions on anything that maybe I didn't mention in the video that you were hoping I was going to talk about, or maybe have some other concerns, please share it in the comments below so I can create a video for you. All right, I'm here to help you guys. So just let me know in the comments. And if you're new here, I would love to have you join. I share new videos every single week. Just smash that subscribe button below. And if you're already a subscriber, please make sure you like, comment, share my videos. It pushes them out so the algorithm, it pushes them out to the algorithm so then more people see my videos and I count more ladies. So I would really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll catch you guys all in my next video. Bye.